Mount prices are increasing, more news on GDKP bans, and they've already found the first rune in Season of Discovery. My name's Coyote, and I'm going to give you what you need to know for the Season of 2 update in less than 8 minutes.
Stupid Coyote.
There has been a huge drop in information for Season 2 of Season of Discovery because multiple interviews were taken with multiple directors. We also have the experience buff and so much more to get into. At the end of this video, though, I'm going to challenge you. There's probably a tip you didn't know about, but we'll get to that later. If you're unlike me and haven't gotten a chance to play since yesterday, you may not have noticed they've already implemented the level 24 and below buff, all right? Once you hit level 25, the 50% gain from Discoverer's Delight is going away. If you want to take the long, slow process, though, don't know why you would, you can always come over to the Innkeeper and disable it. The runes have already been found in the game. Now, Blizzard has already gone and turned those off, so you will not be able to find it, but people were already discovering one. A mage rune was found rather quickly by a group of feisty players. I'm not going to explain how it was found because that kind of ruins the Season of Discovery, but just know there's already one out there. The Void Trinket is coming to vendors near you. Well, a vendor in Booty Bay. If you actually completed the quest line, you're going to be able to replace your Void Pearl if you want. Now, there's a hefty price tag, and it's going to be unique, which means you can only carry one. So maybe if you're like me, thinking about switching from Feral to Boomkin, but you have the attack trinket and want to switch, be ready for a high price tag, but at least you'll be able to do it. They also have the Regent that you need for the Void Touch gear. So as long as you've completed that quest line, it also appears in their list of items for sale. Now to some of the more alarming news. Your level 40 mount is actually going up in price. Now, Blizzard actually had cut the prices by 50% for Season of Mastery, but wasn't intending to leave it for Season of Discovery. I have checked this on live servers before the shutdown this morning, and it is true. They have gone up back to 72 gold, as well as the same for Learning to Ride. Now we get into some major highlights coming from interviews from both Scotty J and the Comeback Kids. Each of them got to interview different developers and got some major information, and I believe I have the highlights that you need to know. Starting off with the Comeback Kids, they got to interview Waylaid and Josh Greenfield on the Phase 2 Season Discovery. One of my more upsetting takes from this was the fact that Dual Talent Spec is not coming in Season 2. They've already stressed that. So, for those of you like me, building a balanced all-spec for your Feral Druid, it's probably not going to be a thing. They did say, however, it may come in a later phase still. For you rogues, warriors, and druids who are very annoyed by some of the bosses in Black Fathom Deeps being immune to bleeds, well, in Gnomer there are going to be no bleed or poison immunities, which is going to be really nice. There will be no world boss for Phase 2, but there are going to be some notable enemies in Stranglethorn Vale worth seeking out. A big quality of life discussion happened. It was actually a pretty good interview. I have it linked below. You're going to want to check it out. They talked about major things that would actually help player base, but I thought the devs had a really good answer to this. Not everything that we want do we really want. It would be nice to see some nameplate adjustments, but it would kind of ruin the matter of how Season of Discovery is supposed to work. It's supposed to have that classic exploration feel, and they don't want you having information ahead of time if you're exploring a dungeon, for instance. Really good. Highly recommend checking that out. One thing that Aggrend or Josh Greenfield said that I thought was really great was, hey, look, don't get your head wrapped around certain items. Data miners and theory crafters were kind of upset because, hey, look, this item isn't as optimal as it could be. Well, maybe it's not intended in the way you're thinking of it as. Always want to take a look, wait to see what's going on, and check your class guides. And the big news that a lot of people have been worried about, myself included, is the GDKP system. It is a ban, an outright ban, and Aggrend and them have said, look, if you find a loophole, don't expect it to last very long. They will ban you for it. Now over to Scotty J's interview. He interviewed Clayton Stone and Anna Resendez. Scotty's interview was great because he did find some other things that even the Comeback Kids may have missed or just didn't get the chance to ask. I do have his video also linked in the description below. First things first, we're looking at roughly 6 to 7 new runes per class, probably seeing more of the multi-class specs like druids and paladins, having a few more versus the other ones, but it's okay. It's going to be exciting to go out and find some of these. One of the huge updates is Waylaid supplies too. These are no longer single item uniques. They're actually going to make it to where you can carry a lot more and turn them in mass. There's no more rushing back to the city to turn in to rush back out. One of the big events that's coming in Season 2 is the Stranglethorn Vale Blood Moon event. All right, it is a massive PvP event that is everybody versus everybody, not just faction versus faction. You can opt out of this, but it's not going to layer hop you. You're going to be on the same layer. So you'll be fighting the same faction you would normally fight. So if you're Alliance, you're fighting Horde, Horde fighting Alliance. The introduction of these quality of life skill books that they're bringing in for Season 2 are to help out some of the more issues that players have. It's obviously annoying to have to refresh your blessings every few minutes or put on new elemental weapon imbuements as you go through the fights. We will not be seeing any enchanting vellums, all right? So you enchanters out there spamming the trade chats, you're still going to be in really good business. One of my favorite takeaways from Scotty J's is that we're going to start seeing perks for our gathering professions, our miners, our skinners, our herbalists, all right? They're not feeling the same love that the crafting ones do with the new trinkets and helmets that are coming in Season 2. Something, though, that I did find rather disheartening was the fact that there is no experience coming to Battlegrounds. So you're not going to be able to level through Battlegrounds like you were in later expansions. Now, here's my challenge to you. If you knew this tip, you don't have to do anything. But if you didn't know this tip, please leave a subscription down below. Make sure that you go in tomorrow at the start of Season Discovery and log in to all your max level characters, especially the ones you don't plan on playing right away, because you want them to start gaining rested experience bonus. This has been your Season 2 news update in less than 8 minutes. If you found any of this information helpful, do me a solid and leave a like down below. If I missed something, leave a comment. My name's Coyote. As always, happy adventures.
Stupid Coyote.